He was just like any other kid. He loved video games, pizza, and hanging out with his friends. Jason was the kind of boy who could spend hours immersed in the latest game, his fingers moving deftly over the controller, his eyes glued to the screen. His friends often joined him, turning his living room into a battleground of virtual adventures. They laughed, they competed, and they shared slices of pizza, the quintessential food of teenage camaraderie. Outside the confines of his home, Jason and his friends could be found in the local park, their laughter echoing through the trees. They rode their bikes through the quiet suburban streets. They played down in the creek, catching crayfish, feeling the wind in their hair and the freedom of youth. These were the moments that defined his childhood, simple yet profound, filled with the joy of friendship and the innocence of youth. His name was Jason, but everyone called him Bug Boy. It started as a joke because of his glasses, those thick, round spectacles that magnified his eyes and gave him a slightly bug-eyed appearance. His friends teased him, but it was all in good fun. Jason took it in stride, his smile never wavering. He knew they meant no harm, and in a way, he even embraced the nickname. Little did they know how accurate that nickname would become, and Grandpa Juan would eventually give him the nickname. What began as a playful jest would soon take on a whole new meaning. Jason's glasses were more than just a quirky accessory. They were a symbol of something much greater, something hidden deep within him, nature's way of revealing the truths that are hidden. Beneath his unassuming exterior, Jason harbored a secret that even he was unaware of. It was a legacy passed down through generations, encoded in his very DNA. This genetic inheritance lay dormant, waiting for the right moment to awaken. Jason often found himself lost in thought, pondering the mysteries of life, unaware that he was on the brink of a revelation that would change everything. On his 16th birthday, mowing the lawn and blacking out in bay, doctor telling him it's just heat exhaustion. Jason lived in a quiet suburb of Heaven's Village, blending in with the ordinary. The neighborhood was a picture of tranquility, with its neatly trimmed lawns and tree-lined streets. To the outside world, Jason was just another boy, living an ordinary life in an ordinary place. But beneath the surface, something extraordinary was stirring within him. As the days passed, Jason began to notice subtle changes. A strange energy coursed through his veins, a feeling of power that he couldn't quite explain. It was as if the very fabric of his being was shifting, evolving. He felt a connection to something greater, something beyond the mundane reality of his everyday life. This feeling became so strong, it's probably why he blacked out. It was the overwhelming transformation of his genetic makeup. A secret lay dormant in his genes, a legacy passed down from generations. This genetic inheritance was more than just a quirk of biology. It was a gift, a responsibility. Jason's ancestors had been guardians of a powerful force, a force that had the potential to shape the destiny of the universe, and now that legacy had been passed on to him. Jason's life changed. He stood at the precipice of a new reality, one that would challenge everything he thought he knew about himself and the world around him. The boy who had once been content with video games and pizza was now destined for something far greater. He looked at himself in the mirror, seeing not just a boy, but a hero in the making. He didn't choose this destiny. It chose him. Jason felt the weight of this newfound responsibility, the burden of a legacy that he had never asked for. He was conflicted, torn between the life he had known and the path that lay ahead. But deep down he knew that he couldn't turn away from this calling. It was a part of him, woven into the very fabric of his being. And soon the world would know his name, not as Jason, but as Bug Boy, the architect of universal harmony. This transformation was not just about gaining powers, it was about embracing his true self, his true purpose. Jason was no longer just a boy, he was a beacon of hope, a symbol of courage and resilience. The world would come to see him as a hero, a guardian of balance and harmony. His story is one of courage, of facing the unknown and of embracing the duality within. Jason's journey would take him to places he had never imagined, facing challenges that would test his limits, but through it all he would remain steadfast, guided by the legacy of his ancestors and the strength of his own spirit. It's a story that reminds us that even in the ordinary, the extraordinary can bloom. Jason's tale is a testament to the power of hidden potential, the miracles that lies within each of us. It is a reminder that greatness can emerge from the most unexpected places, and that even the boy next door can become a hero. Jason's family was different. His dad, James, a renowned nuclear engineer, had an almost mystical connection with atoms and the building blocks of the world. His mum, Diane, a loving caretaker of the home, but also a geneticist, possessed an uncanny ability to heal, mending wounds with a touch. They were loving parents, fiercely protective of their son. They knew their family held secrets, ancient and powerful, passed down through their bloodline. Secrets they swore to protect. Then there was Jessica, Jason's childhood sweetheart. Her laughter was infectious, her spirit brighter than the sun. She had a knack for technology, building intricate gadgets from spare parts. Little did Jason know that Jessica too carried a unique genetic marker, one that resonated with his own and would later be known as the Golden Phantom. Their destinies were intertwined, their paths converging towards a shared purpose. It started subtly. Jason noticed his senses sharpening. He could hear the flutter of a butterfly's wings from across the park. He could smell the sweet nectar of a flower from meters away. His vision became incredibly acute, perceiving details invisible to the human eye. At first he dismissed it as his imagination, but deep down he knew something was changing. One night everything changed. Jason felt a searing pain surge through his body that itched uncontrollably. His skin tingled, his bones ached. He looked in the mirror and recoiled in horror. His reflection stared back, distorted, insect-like. Chitinous plates covered his skin. His eyes multiplied into multifaceted orbs. His transformation had begun. He was becoming Bug Boy. Section 4. The Cosmic Dance. As Jason grappled with his newfound abilities, his grandpa Juan revealed the truth about their heritage. It was a revelation that would change his understanding of himself and his place in the universe forever. The room was filled with an air of solemnity as his grandpa began to recount the ancient tales that had been passed down through generations after opening the chest up in the attic. They explained that their family lineage was intertwined with ancient beings, guardians of the cosmic balance. These beings were not mere myths or legends, but real entities that had existed since the dawn of time. The family tree they showed him was not just a record of ancestors, but a map of cosmic guardianship, each member playing a crucial role in maintaining the equilibrium of the universe. This balance, they revealed, was not about good versus evil, but about the delicate dance of light and shadows. It was a dance that required precision and understanding, a dance that had been choreographed by God who contours the cosmos itself. The scales of balance were intricate, with light and dark interweaving in a complex pattern that was both beautiful and terrifying. Light represented creation, innovation, and progress. It was the force that brought new ideas into existence, that built civilizations and propelled humanity forward. The light was the spark of life, the energy that fueled growth and development. Shadows embodied destruction, chaos, but also necessary change. They were the force that tore down the old to make way for the new, that brought about transformation and evolution. The shadows were not to be feared, but understood and respected, for they played a vital role in the cosmic dance. Jason, as Bug Boy, was the latest in a long line of protectors destined to maintain this balance. His powers were a gift and a responsibility, a legacy that he had to uphold, and he realized this with a deeper meaning after the battle with BH-0. The insect-like features he had developed were a symbol of his connection to the natural world, a reminder of the delicate balance he was meant to protect. His insect-like powers were not just physical, they granted him the ability to perceive and manipulate the very fabric of light and shadows. He could see the threads of energy that wove the universe together, and with a mere thought he could alter their course. This ability made him a unique and powerful guardian, one who could influence the cosmic dance in ways that no one else could. He was the architect, the conductor of a cosmic symphony, ensuring that both forces coexisted in harmony. Like a maestro leading an orchestra, he had to ensure that every note was in place, that every movement was precise. The cosmic symphony was a delicate composition, and Jason was its conductor, guiding the forces of light and dark to create a harmonious balance. The fate of the universe rested on his young shoulders. It was a heavy burden, but one that he was prepared to carry. As he looked up at the stars, he felt a sense of purpose and determination. He knew that his journey was just beginning after the fight against BH-0, and that the cosmic dance was a never-ending cycle. But with his newfound understanding and abilities, he was ready to take on the challenge and ensure that the balance was maintained for generations to come. Section 5. The RNA Revolution. The world had entered a new era of scientific advancement. The discovery and subsequent development of RNA-based technologies had opened doors that were previously thought to be the realm of science fiction. This was a time when the boundaries of what was possible were being pushed further and further, and the implications of these advancements were both exciting and terrifying. RNA gene therapy, once a fringe science, was now commonplace, used in everything from curing diseases to enhancing human capabilities. Scientists had found ways to manipulate RNA to correct genetic defects, effectively curing previously incurable diseases. This technology was also being used to enhance human abilities, making people stronger, faster, and smarter. The potential seemed limitless, and the world was eager to embrace these new possibilities. But like all powerful tools, it had a dark side. The same technology that could heal and enhance could also be used to harm and control. The potential for misuse was enormous, and it wasn't long before the darker aspects of RNA technology began to surface. Unregulated and unethical practices led to unforeseen consequences. Rogue scientists like Dr. Gates and unscrupulous corporations like Biosyn began to exploit RNA technology for their own gain, often with disastrous results. Laboratories were shut down, scandals erupted, and public trust in the scientific community began to erode. Protests against unethical science became a common sight. As people demanded accountability and transparency, this all got worse when Gates was arrested after Bugboy defeated Dr. Gates' bioengineered human named BH0. Everyday products laced with modified RNA were unknowingly altering human genetics. From food and beverages to personal care products, RNA technology was being integrated into everyday items without the public's knowledge or consent. This led to unintended genetic modifications in the population, raising serious ethical and health concerns. The line between progress and peril blurred. As the benefits of RNA technology became more apparent, so did the risks. The world was caught in a delicate balance, trying to harness the power of RNA while avoiding its potential dangers. The consequences of crossing this line were becoming increasingly evident, and the stakes were higher than ever. A shadowy organization known as the Biosyn, ruled by an elite group called Chimera, emerged from the depths of the scientific underworld. This clandestine group saw the potential of RNA technology not as a tool for progress, but as a means to achieve their own sinister goals. Operating in the shadows, they began to manipulate RNA for their own purposes with little regard for the consequences. They sought to exploit RNA's power, twisting it for their own nefarious purposes. The Biosyn scientists conducted experiments under the guidance of Chimera that pushed the boundaries of ethics and morality, creating genetic modifications that were both dangerous and unpredictable. Their goal was to create a new world order, one where they held the power to control and manipulate life itself. They bioengineered human hybrids, splicing animal DNA with human genes, creating an army of super soldiers. These hybrids would possess abilities far beyond those of ordinary humans, making them formidable weapons in the Chimera's quest for dominance. The creation of these hybrids marked a new and terrifying chapter in the history of genetic engineering, and everyone of Heaven's Village saw firsthand from the Battle of Bug Boy vs BH0. The world stood on the brink of a genetic arms race, a battle for the very essence of humanity. Nations scrambled to develop their own RNA-based technologies, fearing that they would be left behind in this new era of genetic warfare. The future of humanity hung in the balance as the world faced the daunting challenge of navigating the perils and promises of the RNA revolution. Section 6, Shadows of Progress. Biosyn's ambitions extended beyond earthly domination under the shadowy rule of Chimera. They understood the interconnectedness of the cosmos, the delicate balance of light and shadows that govern the universe. They sought to disrupt this balance, to plunge the universe into chaos and reshape it in their own image. Their weapon of choice, nanobots. Microscopic machines programmed with twisted algorithms, capable of manipulating the very fabric of reality. These nanobots, released into the atmosphere, began to consume light, casting an ever-growing shadow across the planet. The world grew colder, darker, as if a cosmic eclipse had descended. Plants withered, animals fell ill, and human emotions spiraled into fear and despair. The Chimera plan was working. They were tipping the cosmic scales, plunging the universe towards an abyss of shadows, until Bugboy threw a wrench in their gears, slowing down their plan when he destroyed BH0 and stalled gates upon of Chimera's Tour agenda and plan, where shadows dance with light and words and melodies change and create reality, a juxtaposed duality resonating in harmony, with words, music and video a trinity of symphony.